Welcome to Miss Nancy's Bible School for Kids, Bible College for Kids. Today's lesson, I got it because of a survey that was taken several years ago. They said even among church kids that they had took this survey, the man from blank Z. And 80-something% of the kids said the man from Oz. Well, we know that's a movie and it's a good one, but today in the Bible we're going to learn about another man. And this is the man from Uz. And the title of this story is, He was the man from Uz. It's in the Old Testament in the book of Job, chapters 1 and 2. Let's get started. There was a man in the land of Uz whose name was Job. And that man was perfect and upright and one that feared God and eschewed evil. And there were born unto him 7 sons and 3 daughters. His substance also was 7,000 sheep, 3,000 camels, 500 yoke of oxen, 500 she-asses, and very great household, so that this man was the greatest of all the men of the east. And his sons went and feasted in their houses, every one on his day. They took time about, and sent and called for their 3 sisters to eat and to drink with them. And it was so, when the days of their feasting was gone about, that Job sent and sanctified them, and rose up early in the morning. And here's how he sanctified them, guys. This is Old Testament, so it'll be different than us. He offered burnt offerings according to the number of them all, for Job said, It may be that my sons have sinned and cursed God in their hearts. Thus did Job continually. Now there was a day when the sons of God, which were the angels at this time, came to present themselves before the Lord. And guess who shows up, guys? This is amazing and scary. And Satan came also among them. And the Lord said unto Satan, Whence comest thou? Then Satan answered the Lord. He wasn't afraid to. He was made without fear. Then Satan answered the Lord and said, From going to and fro in the earth, and from walking up and down in it. And the Lord said unto Satan, here's another scary part, guys. What if he was to say this about you or me? The Lord said unto Satan, Hast thou considered my servant Job, that there is none like him in the earth, a perfect and upright man? Man, wouldn't that be sweet, kids, if he was to say that about you? One that feareth God and escheweth evil. That means he wouldn't even have any part to do that even looked evil. Then Satan answered the Lord and said, Doth Job fear God for naught? Boy, he's brave, ain't he? Hast not thou made a hedge about him and about his house and about all that he hath on every side? Thou hast blessed the work of his hands, and his substance is increased in the land. But, Satan's tempting the Lord, but put forth thine hand now and touch all that he hath, and he will curse thee to thy face. He didn't think what Job had was real, the man from Uz. And the Lord said unto Satan, here's the scarier part, Behold, all that he hath is in thy power, only upon himself put not forth thine hand. So Satan went forth from the presence of the Lord. And there was a day when his sons and daughters were eating and drinking wine in their elder brother's house. And there came a messenger unto Job and said, The oxen were plowing, and the asses feeding beside them, and the Sabeans fell upon them, and took them away. Yea, they have slain the servants with the edge of the sword, and I only am escaped alone to tell thee. While he was yet speaking, there came another also, and said, The fire of God is fallen from heaven, and hath burned up the sheep, and the servants, and consumed them, and I only am escaped alone to tell thee. While he was yet speaking, there came also another, and said, The Chaldeans made up 3 bands, and fell upon the camels, and have carried them away, yea, and slain the servants with the edge of the sword, and I alone am only escaped to tell thee. While he was yet speaking, there came also another, and said, Thy sons and thy daughter were eating and drinking wine in their eldest brother's house, and behold, there came a great wind from the wilderness, and smote the 4 corners of the house, and it fell upon the young men, and they are dead, and I only am escaped alone to tell thee. Then Job arose, and rent his mantle, and shaved his head, and fell down upon the ground and worshipped. Job, he was the man of Uz. He was something. And he said this, naked came I out of my mother's womb, and naked shall I return thither. The Lord gave, and the Lord has taken away. Blessed be the name of the Lord. Now I want to think, could I have that attitude? Kids, I'm sorry to say, I probably wouldn't. But Job did. This man from Uz was a great man. And all this Job sinned not, nor charged God foolishly. Again, there was a day when the sons of God came to present themselves before the Lord, and guess who showed up again? Yep, Satan came also among them to present himself before the Lord. And the Lord said unto Satan, From whence comest thou? And Satan answered the Lord and said, and guys, I hate to tell you this, but this is where he is today. From going to and fro in the earth, and from walking up and down in it. And the Lord said unto Satan, Hast thou considered my servant Job, that there is none like him in the earth? Boy, the Lord thought a lot of this man from Uz, a perfect and upright man, one that feareth God and escheweth evil, and still he holdeth fast his integrity, although thou movest me against him to destroy him without cause. Now that's a scary thought, guys. If he could do it then, he can do it now. And Satan answered the Lord, but I'll go back for just a minute. I wonder if the Lord can find anybody like that today to stand up and stand firm. He wants you to, and he wants me to. But Satan answered the Lord and said, Skin for skin, yea, all that a man hath will he give for his life. But put forth thine hand now, and touch his bone and his flesh, and he will curse thee to thy face. And the Lord said unto Satan, Behold, he is in thine hand, but save his life. So Satan went forth from the presence of the Lord, and smote Job with sore bulls from the sole of his feet to the crown of his head. Unto his crown. And he took him a potsherd to scrape himself withal, and he sat down among the ashes. Then said his wife unto him, Dost thou still retain thine integrity? Curse God and die. But he said unto her, Thou speakest as one of the foolish women speaketh. What? Shall we receive good at the hand of God, and shall we not receive evil? And all this did not Job sin with his lips. I'm going to go and tell you the end of the story. This is a wonderful book. I hope someday someone will read it to you. But Job got back everything he had to start with, ×2. So, I want you guys to know the end of the story. We can't cover it all today. Who was the man from Uz? Job. What kind of a man was Job? He was perfect, upright, he feared God, and he eschewed evil. He didn't even want evil around him. How many kids did Job have? He had 7 boys and 3 girls. Was he a rich man or a poor man? He was very rich, wasn't he? What's some of the things that he had that's numbered for us? He had 7,000 sheep, 3,000 camels, 500 donkeys, and a whole bunch of other stuff. What did his kids get together and do pretty often? We do this nowadays. We get together, we eat, we drink, and we have a feast. And what did Job do for them often? He got up early in case that they'd made a mistake, and he burnt sacrifices and offered sacrifices, and he prayed for them. But then one day, when the sons of God came together to present themselves before the Lord, who else showed up? Satan himself. What did the Lord ask Satan? Where did you come from? What was Satan's answer? From going to and fro in the earth and walking up and down in it, just like today. Then what did the Lord ask Satan? He pointed to a man. He said, Have you considered my servant Job? He's perfect, upright, escheweth evil. Boy, he was bragging on him. But then what did Satan ask the Lord? Does he fear you for nothing? You put a hedge about him. You bless everything he does. You touch what he has and he'll curse you to your face. What did God say? All he has is in your hands, but don't touch him. What happened then? Satan went away for a season. So what's some of the things that happened to Job? They took the oxen, the donkeys. They came and killed the servants with a sword. Fire from heaven fell and burned up the sheep and the cattle probably. And then they killed the servants of Job with sword. And then there was one more thing that happened that would have been the most devastating thing to Miss Nancy. A wind blew and the four corners of the house fell in. Who did it kill? All the kids. There was one person that escaped and came and told them. What was Job's reaction? Did he start cussing, yelling, screaming? Was he scared? No. He rose up, he rent his clothes, shaved his head, fell down, and did what? Worshipped. It don't say he cried nor nothing. And what was the words he spake? He said, naked came I from my mother's womb, and naked shall I return thither. Did Job sin in all this? No, he did not. But then, in chapter 2, when the sons of God came the second time to present themselves to the Lord, who showed up? The devil. What did the Lord ask him? Where have you been? What have you been doing? He said, I've been walking to and fro in the earth, going up and down in it, and he is like a lion seeking whom he can devour. But then he said, what? He said, have you considered my servant Job? What did Satan say? Skin for skin, all for his life. Touch him and he'll curse you to your face. He still didn't believe that Job, the man from Uz, had all the stuff. What did God tell him? Take it all, but don't kill him. So, what happened? He did it. What did his wife say? Do you still retain your integrity? Curse God and die. And what Job tell her? He said, you speak as one of the foolish women. Shall we receive good from the Lord and not bad? But anyway, like I said, I'm going to tell you the end of this story. What all happened? He got all of his riches back ×2. He had another set of kids. And he was the richest man in the East. And remember this, guys. He was the man from Uz. What was the man from Uz's name? Job. Hope to see you next time on YouTube. Thanks for watching.